Hello and welcome to my Need to Know guide. In this first episode, we will look at the basics needs to know. Let's start with the 4 different experience bar that you have. Your character experience bar, your combat/skill points experience bar, your energy/knowledge, and your contribution points. Let's start with your character experience bar, how you actually increase that. In Black Desert, quest will not yield experience. You will have to kill your way through to actually earn experience. However, some Black Spirit quests will give you experience in the beginning. Next up, you will be talking about skill points. There are 2 ways of gaining skill points. The first one is by simply doing combat. The second one is by doing specific quests you will find around the world. The Black Spirit will also give you quite a few skill points when leveling. Next up we will be talking about the knowledge system and how to get more maximum energy and actually how the grades on monsters works. But before that, let me just show you some examples on how to obtain knowledge. The most common is talking to an NPC for the first time. And exploring new areas will also gain you more knowledge. Sometimes when killing your monsters you will gain a grade. The grade you can obtain is C, B, A+, and S. By obtaining any of this knowledge, you'll then be able to see the HP go down on the monsters when fighting it. Also, the higher the grade, the more damage you will do to it. However, you cannot obtain a new grade on the monsters before resetting it. To research your knowledge, you'll have to go to Calphion. Right here, where I am now. Simply have to go in, talk to this lady right here, and ask her to knowledge management. Simply then collect the monsters that you want to reset, and press delete knowledge. Then the knowledge is deleted. And then you can go out, kill the monster again, and then you have a chance to obtain new knowledge. This does not mean that you will get a higher grade. It can be the same grade over and over and over if you are unlucky. Now I'm going to show you the knowledge system in this game. This is the easy way to see if you missed anything around the world. You simply just click character here and click at the people of this gate. As you can see, we have obtained knowledge here about all those, so we have now gained the 2 energy. However, here we have not obtained the energy. So if we click here, we can then see what we are missing. And we are missing the question marks over here, and that's O Valley Cave Explorings. So if we go explore this cave, we will then obtain this energy. Now we're going to look at contribution points and what exactly they're used for. They are normally used for 3 things: renting items for NPC, investing in nodes, and buying housing plots in towns. Now I'm going to show you some examples. When renting an item from an NPC, it will cost you contribution points. However, you will get those contribution points back when returning the item. You cannot delete a borrowed item. If you want to be a farmer in this game, you will have to rent the garden of an NPC. There are many different sizes of gardens you can rent. To invest in node, you will always have to start at a town, and then connect the nodes from the town and then continue connecting them the way through there. As you can see right up here, we are at a node close to a town. So to invest in the town, we will have to go find the node manager. To find him, there is a pretty easy way. You just right click the node and it will light up the node manager. You simply go talk to the node manager, click node management, and here you'll get the choice to actually put points into it. You have to be physical there to actually invest in a node. If you're no longer interested in having this node, or you simply just want the contribution point back, you can in every given time simply click the node and drag contribution to withdraw it. You don't need to be there physically. Another important part about the node system is if you want to trade from one city to another city, you'll have to connect them through the node system, all the way between the cities, or else you will get a 70% penalty on the items you're trying to sell. The same goes for fishing. The reason why you want to go further out on the ocean is the further out on the ocean you are, the higher the chance you have of catching rare fish, equals more money. But what exactly do you get out of investing in nodes? Right here you can see from the town I have invested in nodes over to the Imp Cave. Inside the Imp Cave I have now invested in copper ore, meaning that my workers can now go and mine the copper ore for me. Right here you can see I have connected the nodes all the way over to Old Dandelion. Inside Old Dandelion I'm now chopping wood. I have of course set some of my workers to go collect the wood for me. You can click on any node you have invested in. By going into the node, you can then have the choice to actually invest in it. However, this will cost a lot of energy. However, the higher level the node is, the more stuff you get out of it. If you are killing monsters in a zone with your invested points in, you will then get more loot. If you do it into a mining operation, as you can see right here, you will then get more ore. Don't worry, we will get to how workers work later, but for now we earn contribution points. Let's have a look at the third way to use contribution points, investing in buildings in towns. Simply go into a town and click on any building that you want to try and buy. When clicking on the building, you can then see what types of building you can build inside. Here we can build a storage, a fish factory, or a resident. Storage is probably the most common thing you're going to buy, simply because it gives you more storage. Down here you can see how much contribution points it's going to cost to have this building. We can click on this over here and see this one costs 2. However, it does not matter which one you build, the price will always be the same for contribution. However, some buildings will cost more silver than others. Let's have a fast look at the different buildings you can buy inside the town. Of course, we already talked about the first one, the storage. Then I bought the lobby. The lobby is where you can hire more workers. So the more lobby room you have, the more workers you can have in one town. Next up I built a workbench, a mining workbench and a woodworking bench, as I will need that for the shipyard I'm building at the moment, so I can build fishing boats. I will have a later guide later on that will show you exactly how to build fishing boats without lifting a finger yourself. Now that we have covered the 4 kinds of different experience bar and what they actually do, how about we take a little break and watch a wizard trying to kill a high level mob. Hello and welcome back. So let's open up the character sheet and actually look at all the stuff in here. So first up we have family name. That is, you know, your family name. Character name, of course, character name. Then we have correlation. Probably pronouncing that really wrong, but that's pretty much the star system, or system star picture you choose in the beginning. As you can see, I chose the camel. And depending on which star sign you choose, that you will have an easier time to talk to NPCs with the same star sign. At least that is what they say on the website. So we'll get into a little later how to actually talk to NPCs. Then we have the karma system right here. As you can see, I don't have maximum and I've been a naughty boy. The entity, we cover that. Contribution points, cover that. Maximum level, we cover that. So now we are down to enchantment. Alright, so as you can see, you can have 5 points in each, so meaning you can maximum have 5 points. So let's actually open up and see. As you can see, I have 2 attack speed. I have got that from a gem I have in my glove. Sorry. So let's just go over what the different types actually do. Attack speed increases you attack speed, so the faster you will do fast animation when doing attack speed animations. Yeah, alright. Casting speed is how fast you cast spell, so I think the only one that actually benefits from this is a wizard, the sorceress, and the Valkyrie. I think they're the only classes that actually has casting spells. Then we have movement speed, you know, that kind of says it for itself, movement speed. Crit rate, more crit. And then we have fishing ability. Fishing ability is pretty much how fast you will catch a fish. So the higher you have, the less time you'll have to wait to catch a fish. Gathering ability is will reduce the time it takes for you to gather stuff. So if you're out gathering a lot, like chopping wood, mining ore, collecting herbs, stuff like that, you will probably like to have more gathering. Luck increases the chance of you getting nice items when killing stuff. So the higher the luck you have, as you can see right here, when level up, the item drop rate will increase. Also, there's a higher chance of you getting more loot. Alright, let's jump over here. Then we have health. Health will be increased every time you level, and through specific stats. Yeah, stats, sorry, on gear. I don't think my gear give any health. Oh yeah, my gear actually does give health, as you can see. Give 150. Also, you can get food that also increase it. However, health can also be increased through health down here, but we get into that a little later. And then we have mana bar. In my case, it's the WP bar. I have no idea what that stands for, but in the ninja's experience, in the ninja's example here, you actually don't get more when you're leveling. So you'll actually have to put the items in. I think other classes actually do get more when they're leveling. I know the wizard does, and the warrior also does. Then we have the weight limit. The weight limit is pretty much how much you can carry around, as pretty much everything in this game weighs you down. As items you have equipped will weigh you down. If you go down here and look at the weight limit, you can see the yellow bar is what we have equipped, so you can see how much that is. The green bar here is actually the money, so money will weigh you down in this game. And the red bar is to show you what you have in your inventory that's weighing you down. So it's important to know that you will not be able to run around with infinite stuff. So most of the time you will actually have a pretty clean inventory, but you will then have too much weight, so you will actually have to go and throw something into the bank. However, the only time I have actually ever noticed that I got full inventory without hitting the weight limit was when I was fishing, because fish doesn't weigh that much and then don't stack. Alright, so let's go into the AP and DP. AP is attack points. It's pretty much how much damage you do. Those are mostly gained from weapons. You can also gain AP and DP from rings, and earrings, and necklace. Of course, DP is normally gained through armor, if you can see right here. And then we have stamina. Stamina is pretty much, how much you run and speed, but a lot of your evasion abilities will also require stamina. Stamina can also be increased through breath. Also, I forgot to say that weight can be increased by strength. My bad. Alright, so let's get down here to actually training. Training, how do you increase breath? This is simply by walking or running around. You can also find daily quests around the world that will also give you more breath. Then we have strength. Strength will increase how much you can weigh. I love your weight limit. So the more strength you have, the more you can weigh around. Also, strength is increased by having a trade pack on your back and walking around with it. Or you can also find specific tasks or quests around the world that will increase this. Then we have health. Health is simply obtained by eating food that are cooked. So most of the time this will come pretty easy, as you will probably just cook a pretty easy recipe and then just have it in your inventory and eat it all the time. Let's go down to resist. Resist is, how of a chance you have to resisting a knockback ability, a CC ability, but it's important to know that there is a maximum of 60% chance to avoid it in PvP. So if you're making a PvP build, 60% is the maximum that you can get in a specific resist. This is covering the basic. Of course, we have the life skills down here with everything, but they are more advanced, so I'm not going to cover them in this video. We're now going to look at the talking minigame. Alright, so we can see over here, that's the first thing. It's nulling stages. That pretty much means all the characters he's interested in talking about. We have 15 out of 18, sorry. So there are 3 more people that we can find, so we can use in our talking minigame. So let's actually just start the talking minigame. And we will be giving a specific set of rules here. Spark the interest of Raz 5 consecutive times, meaning that we have to spark his interest 5 times in a row. Or 5 times in total. Not entirely sure about that. So, that was so low. That's not good. Alright, we have 100 here. Let's jump into that guy and that guy. See. Alright, he's also not too low. Alright, so that guy is gonna be hit 2 times. It might be better to remove him. Then go like this, because I think this guy is gonna be hit 2 times. Right, let's just oh, it's gonna go that. Alright, never mind then. Right, let's just start it and see if we actually manage to do this. That's 1, 2. Oh, wait, that is 100%. Game. Come on. No! We missed one. Alright, so now we're getting thrown out of the game because we didn't succeed. And we will try again. Now we only need to do it 3 times. So that should be possible. So let's just throw all of those in that we think that might have a small chance. He had a 100% chance. How can he fail with a 100% chance? Game, you not work. You not Alright, so he has a low chance, he has a low chance. Alright, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now of course we get 5. And even 6. Oh shit, we got a lot of we call it reputation, but we can cash out of the reputation or we can try again. However, if we try again, we will lose all the reputation if we lose. So let's go in again. Now we need to get favor of higher than 71. Alright, it seemed like it worked pretty well last time I think we did this. Let's just try and copy that. Might as well. If you find like a good combination, you can just keep using it. Some people talk better with each other, so sometimes you will always get a higher success chance for some of them. And I think that went pretty well. Yes, so now we can see, now we have a really large amount of reputation, so we really like to cash out of that. So we click exit, and we now have gained also this reputation. And what can you actually use all this reputation for? Well, you can go down into this wheel. You can see we can get new knowledge about 400, and we can now rent an item and buy something from his shop, 500, and 1,000 we can gain the knowledge about repairing. So let's actually go into the shop and see what we can buy. This is one of the guys I would highly recommend getting knowledge with, because you can buy I probably am mispronouncing this name, a Urang weapon here, and that's one of the best starting out weapons in the game at the moment. Now let's take a little break and see how you can really piss off the Koreans. Alright, now we're going to talk about the worker system. To find the worker guy, simply press the NPC finder and go for worker. And it will point you in the right direction. And he is right over here. I'm going to show you one of the guys in the first town you pretty much will get to right here. So let's go talk to him. First thing you want to do when you're talking to him is that you can look at the experienced worker, but they are extremely expensive, so we're going to go into that. We're going to click on contract worker. Click here will cost you 5 energy. So each time you click you will get a new worker. So let's go over the worker stats. We have worker speed here. That pretty much means how fast he will do the work. Then we have movement speed. Depending on how far away you have your node, of course the faster he is, the faster he will get there. Luck. The more luck he has, the more chance of him getting a secondary item when he's actually out there getting the items you need. Stamina. Stamina. It's each time he does one work order, he will lose 1 stamina. To regain stamina, you will then have to give him beer or other specific food. Of course, I will go into a little detail later how to actually do that. So, of course, first we can see the price down here, and it will cost us 1 lobby. Each town or city in the beginning can have 1 worker for free. After that, you will have to hire more working space. I will show you this right after. But we are going to click View New Worker, because we want to try and get a blue worker, and we actually got a blue worker here. As you see, the blue worker will cost a little more, so in the beginning you might want to wait a little to actually get a blue worker, because it is 10,000. You can see that it has better stats overall, so we're gonna hire this guy. Now that he is hired, he will then be in our town, right here. So to actually get our worker to go out and work in the mining field we have out here, we then will have to use the connecting node system all the way out here. We simply go in and click the node system right here we want. And then we find our worker we just hired. And we can click this time here that actually tells you how many times you want him to go out and mine here. We want him to go out and mine 25 times. So we start. And then he will go out and mine this specific area 25 times. Also, it's important to note that in the town he is, if the worker is hired in this town, he will also go and put all the materials he mines into this town. So, how do you get more workers in one town? Well, you do that by hiring lobbies. And there were no lobby in that one. Also not in that one. Well, let's click on this one then. As you can see, I had hired a lobby right here. It will cost you 1 contribution point. However, some of the building will cost more contribution points, as we already discussed. But as you see, I have one more worker. I think one of them... Yeah, this one I can upgrade, and then I can have 2 workers for instead of 1 in this building. Let's see. Next up, we will talk about actually how to get stamina back. Because when the worker go out, they used all their stamina up. So how do you get your stamina back? You can see this guy, he used all his stamina. He has 0 out of 17. So to get his stamina back, we can press recovery. And then we have beer. I will have a guide in the left corner right now that will explain you exactly how to craft and get your own beer. It's pretty easy actually. Alright, so let's go, on with it. Each time we click on this, we will recover 1 beer. Of course, that's gonna take too long. So if we click down here and click accept, it will fill all our workers up all through. So instead of going in and clicking that we want that guy to do the same thing as you were doing before, we can click repeat all task, and we will actually make them repeat whatever they were doing right before. As you can now see, all the workers are now out working again. So the last thing we're going to talk about the workers is that you can also promote them. As you see, each worker has a specific rarity. We can then go in here and track promote worker. When promoting a worker, he will lose all the skills he have obtained and all the levels. And there's a small chance of him of being promoted. So if you look at a worker, you can also see each time they get level, they have a chance of unlocking a new skill. And their skills are completely randomized. So, be lucky. So, that have been workers. Alright, now we're going to look at enchantment. Because in the beginning, you can actually enchant your gear. So let's just get this guy down here and go enchantment. Because you can take a weapon, doesn't matter what weapon it is, as long as it can be enchanted, and put it all the way up to 7 without actually losing the blackstone. So let's just get it fast to 7 so I can show you. There we go. After 7 you will now have a chance of actually failing, but not before that. So let's take that away and put in this. Armor you can get up to 5. Let me get it up to 5 first. Oh, good, we didn't have any more. And then we can go talk to this guy here. Oh, we can just first look at it. As you can see now, it's +7, +5. Armor can get to +5, and weapon can get +7. Without you having any chance of failing. Then, if you just do that to crappy gear and you want the blackstone back, you simply go in here and click blackstone, click this, and you will get your 7 blackstone back. However, your item will be destroyed. That's an important thing to know. As you can see now, we are now gotten our blackstone back. So that is a nice little way. There will be a link to another video in the left corner right now that will show you exactly how to repair max durability and everything like that, and actually also how to upgrade your weapons if you're interested in that. Alright, so one of the last things we're going to touch about is that there is actually no level requirement on any of the gear in the game. Meaning that you can pretty much give it all to a level 1 character if you want to. All the best gear in the game, you can throw it on a level 1 character and then level the living crap out of that character. He's gonna have no problem killing anything. However, weapons and secondary weapon is locked to classes. Everything else can be traded between every class and, every level. So that's one thing to note. Alright, so here at the very last and the end, I'm going to tell you some of my tips and tricks that I would highly recommend you doing in the beginning. So one of the first things I would highly recommend you do is, if you have a lot of pets, is that you will make all character go to the stable and get a lot of pet food. As the pets are shared through the account, you can feed them on a low level character. And also you can feed them much faster by throwing them down here. I'm going to show you that fast. Out with the pets. And if you then just spam the button, as you can see, oh, they're already full. Instead of, when you go here, you can only click like once a second. So this way it's much faster to spam feed them. Of course, the next thing is that you can also place a all character right next to the guy, the woman, that can reset the knowledge. Pretty much meaning that you can reset knowledge from everywhere in the world. If your main character is out, you're probably going to do a lot of catfish in the beginning, and whenever you kill some colossus, kill some of those. I can't remember the names, but probably most catfish, because they're just really good for some reason. So instead of having to run all the way back, you can just go in here, find catfish, delete the knowledge if you got a bad grade, and try to get A+ and C. Even though it's almost impossible to get those. Of course, another thing will be that you can send stuff from town to town, without actually needing to do it yourself. You can trick transport, and send, so let's see, we want to send those 2 woods here. We want to send them to the port city. We click port city, and we click the transportation we want. Of course, it's going to cost some money, and we send it. And that will then be transported all the way over here for us. And then, of course, when you finally actually get the item over here, you simply click status. Oh wait, won't it refresh? There we go. And then you can see all the stuff you have sent here. So you just click receive and you pretty much get the stuff. As you can see, I send a lot of stuff here because I'm trying to build a boat. Yay! But enough about that. Alright, the last trick I'm going to show you is that if you stand in a city and you actually want to move your character from one city to another without actually doing it yourself, you select the destination of the city you want to send him to. Let's see, we want to send him to the city. And you select the character you want to relog to. Let's select this character. And then you'll be unable to play on this character for 1 hour, but you will then move from one town to another. So in the beginning you don't have to actually run with your character from one town to another. As you can see, I am unable to log in on this character for 1 hour. In the meantime, he will be transported from, of course, one town to another. This has been my need-to-know guide on the basic stuff you need to know in Black Desert. However, I will make one later on for the advanced stuff I think you need to know, but don't expect it anytime soon, as this video took me around 30 hours to make. So, Gapa out.